Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US stock report for the 1st of July. Wednesday we cover Microsoft, AMD, Tesla and HD here, Home Depot. So last time we spoke with this particular product here, we were looking at going long above that particular high here. So we're getting close to that. But I want to withdraw that because it's a bit like the S&P 500. We can count this down here as a possible 5-wave structure, then as an A wave here, and then an A and a B and a C over here, and then down for wave 4 here. So look, we can go long if we get a classic trading levels pattern here. So I don't want to just buy a new high above this one here. I want to wait over here. So wherever this comes to here, it will probably come to it may have already finished, but it could come anywhere to these highs here and then drop from that point. If that's the case, we'll pick it up from here. But if it does push up higher here, that probably won't be that high, but down a bit more realistic with those highs there. If it creates the first high above the level and then has a bit of a bounce there, then we can look to use that top there or bring it down to the second high here, okay, and then we can go long from that point. Otherwise, we could just get trapped because we need to move through this particular option here that we have in terms of the Elliott wave count for the S&P 500 in that regard. So just dull that out there. So just wait for this a little bit longer here for this one. I'll just save that. And then we'll work over onto Microsoft. So with Microsoft here, there's no trade here for Microsoft at the moment. We are at a major trading level. So 200 is the major trading level, 100, 200 and 300. And we're looking for a classic trading levels pattern across here. So I can see that, and I've got different counts for Microsoft as well. So I've just got to be a little bit mindful of that. So, but they all kind of tend to do the same. But what I'm trying to do here is just get you to understand that in this little move up through here, we have wave 1 in here and 2 here, and probably 3, 4 and 5 to go into here, and then we're going to come back down here. Now we could just come back for an ABC pattern and then head higher, or we'll come lower from that point. We can go long above that high here and that high here, but we need that pullback in here, because I think that we're going to be looking at a correction across this particular level here for this. So we don't have a trade for this at this stage. I'll just check on the tick chart here, just on this structure here while I'm here. Okay, so so normally when we're looking at a pattern at the level here, we're looking at the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level here. So we're looking at this move here in 5 waves here. Then I'm looking for this. Now we'll have an entry above here and an entry above here, and we can have one over here. But we just got to see how low this drops first. We need to set up. So we're in this space here. There's 5 waves in here. So we're in the sort of up here somewhere in this space. So this is why we've got to be careful. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. And it looks like here we've got 1 and 2 here. And look, this is mostly the 3rd wave here. This is maybe the 4th and the 5th here. Maybe there's a little bit more to go up through here as well. But it's close to the end, so 5 would be the sort of number that we'd be looking at here, roughly speaking. It can go higher or lower and all those sort of things. And the levels in here would be, well, 1, 2, you can get them a little bit better than this 3 there for me, there somewhere. So, and under here we have 8 under here and 5 here. So 1, 2, 3, 5, and then 8 on the upside here. I'll put 8 in just in case it goes up that way. But Yeah, so we're pretty close. I mean, there'll just be another little move up here in one way or another. I could probably break that down, give you the exact thing. But definitely we got 1 and 2 here, and definitely we're in 3 here. But I don't know if we're 3, 4, 5 here, or from here 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave, the fourth wave, and the fifth wave to go up. But either way, we're looking for a high here and then a pullback into this here. So we don't want to go chasing the first high above the level this late in the game. If we were going to do that, we would have taken it on after the first 5 waves here in this space here for that. So that's the end of that for the time being. We'll look at, and like I said, I've got a few different counts for all this. I'm still working it out. It just doesn't sit right for me, some of these moves. Okay, so AMD we can look at next. So with AMD here, as you may recall, we've been looking at, well, wave 3 and 4 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 here, and then we've been looking at all of this as a triangle pattern here. So if I go to the, well, just before I go there, I think it's finished. So we'll see 5 waves up here, making a new high above here. Will it reach the medium level here, 65? I don't know. We'll just count the 5 waves up. So we'll be looking for, let me just clean this up here a little bit. We'll be looking for 1, 2, 3 will be somewhere up amongst all of this. I'm sure wave 4 is going to be complicated here, so I'll just make it complicated. And then wave 5 coming up. How far it goes, I don't know. Then we're going to get an A and a B and a C wave coming back into here, and then we'll see a push up from that point. So this is the real trade that we want here, this third wave pushing up through here with this. But also too, we don't want this low taken out, otherwise this count will be invalidated at that point. But let's go in and have a closer look at that on this level here. So on a 4-hour chart, so we've had wave 3 here, and then an A wave here. And these are all in 3 waves. So this is in A waves in 3, B waves in 3, this is in 3, this is in 3, and this is in 3, the E wave here. So it's kind of a perfect triangle really for this. We were looking to go long above this point here, and we can really adjust that now and bring that down into this space here. And we're looking for 5 waves up here, so I'll just draw those out here. So we're not finished the first one, the second one here, the third one's going to be somewhere in here, and then wave 5. So we'll see how we travel with this. We'll be just drawing a rough pathway there for that. We'll go to the hourly chart, I think, or maybe the tick chart, just to see. Okay, so this is a bit better here. So just on the hourly chart here, I can see that we're looking for 5 waves up for wave 1 here. So we've got 1 and 2. You can see this strong third wave here. So that's pretty easy to see. So that just makes this wave 4, and we'll be looking for wave 5. After we've got wave 5 in, we'll be looking for an ABC pattern here that will pull back 50 or 60%. So you'll be able to get the low here roughly to wherever the high is here. I'll just put it just a tad above there. That will leave us with the 50-60% retracement level, which will come into this space here, and then the market can push up from that point. So you could technically buy down here if you wish, but I prefer to wait for a little bit of evidence and a nice setup. So buying on the second high here, once that's breached, wherever that may be, is the first trade, and then the second trade here. But it's always pretty much the same with me. So when we're moving up through these levels here, I would normally be building on top of these levels as support, but we've got wave 2, so you can build in here on number 2 here, 52 and 53, and then the market should move. Markets move quite quickly between the numbers 5 and 3 and 5 and 8 in both directions. So always just keep that in mind. Here we go. Over here it moves quite quickly, you see. So and then bounces around once it gets into group 1 here on the down side anyway, most of the time. So so we expect this to push off quite quickly here. So you really want to get in, you know, even if you can get in 4 positions in this little stretch here, that would be nice, you know, and get the first one in, get that to break even, get the second one in, get that to break even, and then put the risk in the third and the fourth. And we'll have a look at the structure. We might be able to add to that as well there. But 1, 2, and 3 is group 1, minor group 1, and support on minor group 1 will get us to the 55 at that point. So that's what we're looking at there for MAD, and we'll have a look at Tesla now. Just let me take it back here a bit. Now I might change this particular wave count up here as well for this, but as it stands at the moment, this is kind of what we're looking at. We're looking for the top here for wave 1, but let's get a bit more detail on that. So okay, so last time we spoke, we were going to go long above this high here, okay? And have I got some other labeling here? Nope. Don't have it. So I'll just quickly put it on pause and do that. Okay, just coming back into this now. I just had to do a little bit of labeling here for this, so just want to talk about this for a moment. So I think we've kind of done all the right things here, because, you know, we'd been long down here. You see, we had this setup here, which is really the same sort of setup we got here on this level. So we waited for the setup. We would have had this sitting over here, then here, then here, and then triggered in at that point. And this is the same over here. We would have had that sitting up here, then down to here, and so on through here. So, and then we traded to the next level and got out, and we wait for the setup, and then we get back in. And because we're at number 1 here, 1,000, 1 is the strongest number in the market, and we would expect the market to stick here a little while. So if this count is correct, we've got wave 3, 4 here, we've got 1 and 2 here, and then up for wave 3 here, and then 4, then 1 and 2 here, and then we're looking here as 1 and 2, and this is the third wave here that I don't think's finished. 3rd, 4th, 5th to the 3rd here, then a 4th, and then a 5th here. So what I'm proposing to do is, first of all, I've moved the stop from down here up to this area here. So I've got the stop at 1036, so a little bit higher here for that. So 1036, that's roughly there. And what we're going to do is we're going to take 50% of the money off the table at 1,100. And then once the market does its little vibration around here, and you can see that it's pushing up higher, then I want you to move the stop up under this low, under this wave 4 low here. Remember that wave 3 to 4 here will pull back 38.2%, and it will be in 3 waves. So we could look wherever that high is there. So that's 38.2%. So we want to kind of just leave it out of the way for the time being, but that's where it needs to be. It needs to be moved under that wave 4. So if we put wave 4 there, and then we'll put that under wave 4, so we know what we're doing with it. So, and then wherever this high is here, wherever it comes in, it may not, probably won't come that high actually, but let's just bring it down a tad, because it's at another number 1 here, the 100, so it's not going to leave very far from there. So, but what we want to do is we want to take profit wherever that high is in this space here. We want to take profit above that here, give it a bit of space. We're looking for 5 waves in here. So normally we would see some sort of relationship between this wave one here, move that across over to here. So yeah, so we could probably look to take profit at this level here at 1150 here. So I'll better put that in there. TP 1150, or you can just use a trailing stop to go up further and see how far you get there. Okay, I'm just using Elliott and the levels to navigate through this. So, okay, I'm going to leave it all at that. So thanks for tuning in and thanks for the support. Cheers.